That is the way to go. So we do this once every year, beginning of the year, mid-year, we come and do a review to see whether we are on course, and then also.
So after this, we want to take a group. Where have you organized? So I think I'll leave it where they are. So you organize for that group of that group. So
we get developed. So my initial to access a bigger market. As I said, I think we've opened up a lot of markets in East Africa, in Africa.
Yeah, can you also say something, bro?
About
it's a big challenge that we're importing of 500 billion worth of food. Whereas we have idle lands, we have water. So I think that's how
we are right. I think everybody here will be some very issues about my 2 team members here. They should be able to tell which crop find
So if there are interests in that area, just let Tomere know, and we will do a meeting in the next
one. Ebu, umemaliza? How far? Picture takers, how far can they go?
So tunamaliza.
Yule ndiye anafika still.
We are here today at the State Department of Irrigation to validate our plan of ensuring this country is going to have zero imports by 2032. Currently, we are importing we are producing 234 metric tons, and we're importing 700,000 metric tons. But we have a plan to ensure by 2027 we have an additional, we bring the rice production to 440,000 metric tons, and by 2032 we bring the rice production to actually 1.1 metric tons. Then also, as I said, Department of Irrigation, we also here to ensure, because of the effects of climate change, we are also looking at the broader picture. We intend to increase the acreage and irrigation from the current 664,000 to 1 million acres. And for us to be able to do that, we need to understand what value chain is required in which area. And that's why we're here for the two groups together in the State Department of Agriculture. They work together to identify the areas so that even as we go forward in ensuring we are providing water security, because now we're also using the private-public partnership model, whereby we need to make sure we have clear offtake guarantees. And for us to get that, we also need to know exactly what is suitable for which area.
So we have been here to go through the programs as promised by this administration under food security. And for the last 2 days, we have gone through a number of value chains, among them tea value chain, to see how the ministry and the government can address issues to do with tea marketing, tea production, and the quality of tea. We have also addressed issues to do with rice in terms of production, in terms of volumes, to reduce on importation of rice, which currently we are importing 80% of our rice. We have also looked at the edible oil, which the country is importing close to 95% of edible oil, which is second in terms of the second imported food in this country. Talk about tea, there is rice, there is cotton, there is edible oil, there is coffee, there is sugarcane. So those are the key value chain we are addressing. And the State Department of Agriculture being the production department. There is also livestock, which we are talking about leather, being the production arm in terms of agriculture. is just to come up with, we have come up with a blueprint to try as much as possible to integrate all these activities which are cutting across at the State Department. And that is why we call each one of us, so that we can come up with one document to ease implementation and also enhance efficiency and effectiveness in terms of delivery.
And in each county, we are identifying each of the commodities that can be processed, so that we also encourage farmers through the Ministry of Agriculture to produce more raw materials, so that we are able to meet demand. Because when you put up a factory, you must make sure that there's enough raw material. So in some of the crops we have a surplus, like maize, like rice. There's quite a surplus in terms of we don't have enough machinery to add value to it, and that's why you find sometimes, like for maize, post-harvest losses can be as high as 40%. But if you are able to add value, then you will be able to reduce that post-harvest loss. But also, if you add value, you'll be able to sell when you want. It's because then you have increased the shelf life of that produce.
The most important determinant for food security is incomes. If you have an income, then you're food secure. And so our role is to ensure that we have markets for those who are producing, and that we have markets that pay well and pay regularly. So our role here is two or threefold. In the first instance, we are creating mechanisms that allow for trade of produced commodities to happen through the establishment of a Kenya multi-commodity exchange, which shall be on the ground in a few months' time. We have lots of potential across all our value chains. And in each of those, there are various measures that we are taking in order to ensure that we increase incomes. In the tea sector, for example, development of a packaging industry and development of various ways of packaging tea into loose leaf teas and so forth. There are new markets that pay a premium for those kind of things. And for even other products, we are exploring, for example, in the meat sector, to understand the market in the Middle East and to better align production to the demands of those markets.